I do. Hey, everyone. This is Judd, he, him, and we are here to play Orun, which is awesome. Post-Apotheosis space opera. And we've got our characters just about cooked, fully baked, and we are here on the actual play channel. All subscription money and whatnot goes to the Trans Legal Defense Fund and Black Lives Matter. And it's going to be me and Jay playing today, and Misha's going to be DM, which is awesome. I'm excited to get to play with Jay. This is really cool. Misha, how are you doing? What's going on?
We're wrapping up the school year for the Niblets, which is always fun. My eldest has discovered the joys of rickrolling, and I'm not sure if I should be proud of them or just annoyed that they stole my shtick. Because they sent me like a TikTok with a rickroll, and I'm like, I mean, so there's a few people like, so. And yeah, it's just winding down, finishing up projects, and then shipping them off to their grandparents for bits and various bits in the summer, and then I get to do stuff around here. Like we finished the deck. It has furniture on it now, which got rained on, so it took like most of the day to get that dry. So I had the first weekend that I could enjoy my lawn furniture that I couldn't, because it was soaking wet and I couldn't sit on it, and I'm very annoyed.
Got it. Misha, I think you just...
How about you, Jay?
Okay.
It's been a regular boring... Actually, I've been sucked in. I started a new book by Martha Wells, the Murderbot Diaries. I might be late.
Yeah,
I've heard of this. Yes.
Oh my gosh, it is so. I love it. I can't stop reading it.
Good.
Go ahead.
Oh no, is it good? I've heard good things.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So I started with All Systems Red. I think Amazon threw it at me, the sample chapters or whatever. And then in your Kindle you get to the end, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, take my money. And so I've been reading that all week. It is incredible, man. It is fun. It's all from the point. Actually, you're reading like the logs from this murder bot, I guess. I don't know what else to call it. An automaton who's built for security, right? And the AI has managed to kind of hack the governing modules, so it's kind of rogue and free, but it's got to pretend it's not, because it knows what happens if it gets caught, and it tells you that early in the chapter, right? So it's fantastic. I'm hooked. Yeah, it's been my week, so I've been stuck in that.
Yeah,
lots of gameable stuff. Yeah, it's good.
It's a good one to get stuck in. That was the book that really broke my COVID isolation reading slump, where I was like, I just can't read. My brain can't do it. And then I picked up Murderbot, and I was like, oh wait, no, I can do this. Yeah. It's so much fun. So much fun. And such a cool, a cool, not heavy-handed metaphor, or not so much a metaphor, but just like a way to show trauma in a science fiction way without, George R.R. Martining it over your head, is really cool. I really, can't say enough. And it's fitting that we should be talking about Murderbot, because we're both playing artificial people.
I was gonna say. So I don't know.
Influence here.
Right, I'm not sure. It may have been in there.
Totally. I see what's going on here. Awesome. Cool. What's that? What am I up to? I've been making T-shirts. I don't know why that's the thing that I do now, but I've been making T-shirts, which is fun. Just getting I've got a couple of projects that just got off my plate, so I'm looking at a couple that are I don't have any really annoying ones that are 90% done and I just won't finish. I've got a couple that are 30%, and they're just in pieces all over the place, and I've just got to put them together. And I think like if I took a couple hours and put them together, I'd get it up to 70 in a couple hours, and then I could see what that last 30% looked like. But we'll see. Yeah, there are things, there are projects, that I'm hoping to kind of finish up. Just little PDFs that are fun, and yeah, that's about it. And maybe, possibly, I don't want to jinx it, but possibly buying a house. So that's like what's been really like, like the administrative, it's a huge thing. And I'm trying not to, like, there's like two more steps with the bank that we need to get through. They've got to do the appraisal, and if they appraise it too low, it's going to be a mess. And we've got to like finish up the mortgage stuff, and they've got to like do the paperwork on their end. But so we've got like two more pieces of paper I've got to hand them on Monday. And yeah, it's just nerve wracking. Like it's just it's quite a thing.
Yeah, house buying is one of those.
Yeah. And it's been bad around here lately, just in that everything is a bidding war and everything goes way above price, and we've just had to like, no, we're not, like, just a lot of folks putting down cash and waiving the right to inspect and doing things that
never do that, people.
Never. I don't know. I guess if it's just like, if money is no object, so
right.
Yeah, if you just don't care, whatever. So there we are. That's what's been going. Yeah, t-shirts and projects and houses and
oh my,
which is why we didn't have a title card for Twitter this week, because I was texting a realtor or emailing a bank or what have you. But I'm glad we all got here, and that we get to play some Orun, because it looks awesome, and I can't wait to hold this book in my hand. Like I
can't wait to hold this book in my hand. So far the only person who has a copy is Jerry out in Vegas.
Nice.
And so maybe he'll send it to the other two of us so that we can hold it too. But more likely we're gonna have to wait till it's finished printing.
And it's going to be square, yeah?
Yes, it's square.
That's awesome.
It's 8 by 8, 9 by 9. I can't remember if it's 8 by 8 or 9 by 9, but it's one of those two.
The art is absolutely gorgeous.
No, it is. It is gorgeous art.
It's fun.
I'm looking at it. At some point, we will just scroll through a little bit. I'll share a screen, but not now. For now, we should get set up. What are we doing? Misha, how do we get this party started?
Let's start with introducing your characters.
Cool.
I've noticed you've both chosen to play Indici.
Yes.
Well, actually, let's backtrack. Let's a little bit of Orun. So Orun is post-Apotheosis, Afrocentric space opera. It's from New Agenda Publishing, which is myself, Jerry Grayson, and Aloy Santa. We put together a amazing crew of writers and artists who delivered above and beyond our expectations. Most of them were pretty new at the time we hired them, but they stepped up and they delivered. They gave us amazing ideas and beautiful words and art that like just blows your mind. The premise behind it is once upon a time, the worlds were in chaos, and just your normal everyday, hey, you got fighting and wars and stuff. And beings called the Orisha came and kind of set things up in motion. They moved us into a post-scarcity kind of thing. And set up homeworlds for the different species that were around the galaxies that were well maintained and organized. And then they're like, all right, you got this. And they pieced out. And then this virus came along and kind of threw a monkey wrench into the works. And so things devolved again. And so some of the knowledge that they had left got lost. And so now as Jolly, you are working on trying to reclaim that knowledge so that the rest of the world can continue along the path that they were set on. And so that is your job. We made it because we wanted basically campaigns where you're trying to do good and be moral and be fair and be just, as opposed to just going around killing people. So that was a lot of the inspiration behind it. And so you've both decided to play Indici, which is our species of funerary automatons, which at the time we thought of it as like, hey, we could, what would be the equivalent of a mech in this kind of thing? And it's like, okay, but we don't want to like too mech. We kind of want maybe more droid than mech. Okay, that's what we're gonna go for. And that was basically the blurb we gave the Rise. Like, this is what they are. Kind of like give us some more info, and we were pretty proud of what they came back with.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in. Like, whenever people talk about Star Wars and people are always like, I want to be a Jedi, I want to be a scoundrel, I'm always like, I want to be C-3PO. I like C-3PO is some kind of edge and angle, so it's not just C-3PO, but I'm definitely drawn to the androids, and the Indici have a really cool angle to them, and I loved it. And then that was before I looked at the email real carefully, and I was like, oh no, Jay's playing an Indici. But I think that's kind of cool. I like that we're both. I like that we're both. We're both these kind of digital artificial people. It's kind of that's cool. I'm fascinated. You used the word funerary. Could you delve into that a little more?
The Indici specifically house the soul and personality of a dead Oyan, which is a different species in the galaxy. So they, at one person, were living, breathing, walking creatures that have now been put into this metallic, mechanical body. So it's not, they're explicitly not like, man-made creatures who just are purely programmed from nothing. Because that's always another fun kind of thing that I like exploring is like, okay, well, do droids have souls? And in this case, yes, they do explicitly have souls. We made it that way. So it's they're funerary automatons.
Cool.
And yeah.
Awesome. And then Jay, we were talking about the fact that we were both playing Indici, and maybe that we both came from our original soul was birthed from the same Oyan, and we've become very different people. Right. But I kind of like that idea that we've got this like weird siblinghood,
right?
And it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of this weird proof that that choice, makes us, and I don't know. Yeah. My character is named Gochu, and after a command from BASIC, which is the first and only programming language I ever learned. Pronouns are none. They are an emissary, and I think they are designed to be human shaped but kind of vague, and to put people at ease, and to kind of put them off their guard, and that's Go-To, I think, in a nutshell for now, and we'll figure out more about them as we play. How about you, Jay? Who are you playing?
I'm playing drummer, and listening to you, I think somewhere in the wars, the way I've read that, and you correct me, Misha, I thought that the dead were brought back and stuck in automatons for visitation purposes, and then when that visitation was over, and they put them back into the digitized library, right?
That was the original intention, yes.
Right. So my thought is, during this war, you need bodies, right? I need bodies. Maybe that's how we ended up split, right? They put us in two bodies. Maybe there are more bodies. I don't know, but at least two bodies. And I was out fighting, right, or on one side or the other. Once that resolved itself, I think Drummer is Drummer's all merc now. That's the background mercenary. So I think he's super proficient. Well, as proficient as your beginning character can be. I maxed out whatever I could in fighting stuff, but he also has this meditative harmony side, this monk kind of side, right? He's got some exquisite taste, right? He likes to, having been alive, he likes, not the best of things, but I don't know, some eclectic kind of expensive taste, right? But I think primarily his drive is, can we get a new library, right? Can we build, right? Can we get a new library?
Nice. Nice. I feel like you're pandering to me. Yeah, that might like the passion.
Where can we get a new library? As he's got his rifle here, right? I need a new library, right? It's like that. Not can we get a new library? I need a new library.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I think I like the idea that the thing that remains from our original soul that we share is that love of the library. I think that's really neat.
Yes.
But I think we want to go about getting it a very different way, right? I want to talk and chat it out and make an agreement, and you want to wave your firearm around, and we'll see how it goes.
Two very different approaches.
That scans. I like that. Cool.
I like it.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Awesome.
With that in mind, trying to think where.
Yeah. Did we give you enough? Do you want to ask us some questions?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where to drop you.
Yeah. Of course.
Because that's always the interesting part. Like, where do we start? Because starting in a bar, we could, but you don't eat or drink. So, yeah.
We could be there to see somebody, right?
You could be there to see somebody. That's actually probably easy. Yeah, so you get a message from the Joliet had been training you, saying, "Hey, we've got the situation on Aish Isinpu. They could use some help. Can you go to?" And they send you a location. And when you arrive, you see it's a kind of bustling little town. It doesn't look settled though. Like it feels more new than the rest of the planet does.
Okay.
And your contact kind of like you see over in a corner and it's like waving at you. What do you do?
I guess go to we'll look at Drummer. Yeah, and
I'm waving back.
Yeah, I think like go-to laughs at that. Like it's just so simple, but he was going to overthink it, or go-to was going to overthink it, and I think wanted to somehow begin these deliberations in some more, I don't know, dramatic fashion. But yeah, waves back with Drummer. And
that's what they do. And it's fine. It's what they do. They feel good about that.
They like the waving?
Yeah, they do. I don't. I've seen it. They like it.
Yeah, I think we'll walk up.
It's your contact is a Kabani woman. She's sits, like motions to the chairs at the table. Please, thank you for coming on such short notice. We've it's been a little weird around here. My name's Keisha, by the way. You are?
Well, I'm Go-To, and this is Drummer.
Excellent. Did they tell you anything about what's going on?
They said you needed support.
Yes, that's very true. Somehow, somebody's been, how to say this? The Indici population here has been altering, take Leet there. Leet has been Leet for a while, but now Leet is saying they're somebody totally different, and it's not just Leet. It's like a bunch of people, and we're not sure why or how, and it's strange because we didn't know that you could just cycle personalities like that, and it's odd. And we were hoping you would know. I mean, we don't have any Indici specific doctors. I mean, I don't think that's the right word. I mean, it might be mechanic. I don't know what the word we should use for you is. But yeah. Is this normal?
I think, I don't know, Go-To just shrugs, like what's normal, but doesn't say anything. And it kind of like hides their disappointment that, like, oh, we're here for Indici stuff. Like, I thought we would just be sent for a problem, not a, like, I don't know. Yeah. Judd is not disappointed. Go-To is disappointed, just to be very, very clear. And I'll say, is there an Indici community here? Is there an enclave?
Not so much. I mean, we've got maybe 10 or 15 here, which, I mean, they do occasionally hang out together, but no more so than with anybody else. It's not really, they're a big hang.
So they're scattered around, not a unified building or a unified place where they get together?
No, they all have their own homes and stuff. I mean, they're as near to each other as they are to anybody else. They're kind of integrated pretty well into the community.
Can we visit one of the?
Yes. And she like pays for whatever she had before you got here. This way. Let's start with Leet. Leet's the closest anyway. So, although, yeah.
So I kind of have if I can, a side conversation with Go-To that I'm trying to keep private, because I'm kind of excited now. Because I'm like, I know what this is, right? We do this, right? They've got a library, or a small one, or some, a small with personalities in there, and they're swapping them around. We could put a library here.
Yeah, I imagine we're just like kind of texting one another, like, from our eyeballs or something. Is that cool?
Sure.
Can we?
Yeah.
Or they're deciding that, I don't know. Yeah, it could be a lot of things. I'm not excited yet.
All right. You'll see. They're sharing personalities. They're sharing. What What were we? They're serving souls, and have got to be storing the extra ones someplace.
Or they're just changing and evolving as people, and it's freaking out. Yeah, I mean, he almost says like
right.
The mundanes.
Right.
He almost says like the biologicals or the meat bags or something. Like he almost he came really close to turning into Bender there, but Gochu doesn't. It says could be a lot of things. I don't want to get too excited about a library that we don't know exists. And we're being rude to our host. Let's engage.
So she leads you like out of the building and down a couple of blocks. Like she said, the city, the community, it's a smallish community, but it is pretty diverse. So you see all sorts of species going about their daily lives. And she gets to a door and she knocks and then opens it. And it looks like a little shop. But it's very disorganized. It's like you can kind of see like a turnover going on, like where before it had you see a lot of like clothing items coming in and you see like racks being set up, but behind and around that there were like shelves with kind of knick-knacky kind of things, but like nice knick-knacky, like crafted kind of things. And so you kind of see like, it seems like they're changing what kind of shop it's gonna be in the middle of it. And you, she calls out, Lee, are you here? And you see an Indici pokes their head out from the back, and kind of looks at the two of you, and straightens up. Yes, Keisha, what are you doing here? And who are your friends? And Keisha introduces the two of you. Welcome to my shop. Are you looking for anything in particular?
So I see two shops. Are you changing wares?
Yes, I've decided that clothing is where my heart is. It's always been where my heart is. I don't know why this shop was full of knickknacks. Anyway, clothes. Much more fabrics and flowing, and the feel of it on your skin. Yes, it's... Yes.
Do you like how it feels on your skin, the fabrics?
I did. I remember the feel of it on my skin, but and it's looking at its hands, but I don't quite feel that anymore.
Long, uncomfortable silence. Yeah,
yes, everybody's and Keisha's in the corner, like just watching the three of you. It's like,
yeah. I'm definitely in this to make Keisha uncomfortable. Is what I'm doing. Like I am standing there stock still. I'm like, how long will she hang out if we all just stare at each other uncomfortably? and what does she think is happening? Definitely, I'm in for that. Leet, we were brought here over a great distance because apparently there have been a lot of Indici who have been making decisions like yours, realizing that where their passions lie might be not what they're doing. And I think it is making other people in the community uncomfortable. Not that you shouldn't become who you are, but because change is uncomfortable. And this could be a very simple solution, or that maybe there's something more complicated going on. But is there anyone else who you have noticed is going through something like this?
I don't know. I mean, everybody kept calling me Tiwa for the longest time. Until I like put my foot down and said, no, my name is Leet. I don't know why you keep calling me Tiwa. The others I've met seem to be fine. It does. I don't remember them being different than they are now, if that makes any sense.
Every time me and Jay do something that's the same, it cracks me up because it means our...
Yes, you got the quitting thing down. It's amazing.
I'm not. I swear we're not doing that on purpose. I swear.
That's fantastic. That means we made the right character choices.
It's just two guys from Jersey trying to role play. That's all this is. I love it.
How long you been changing all this the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, about that. It took a little while for orders to come in. I ordered stuff about 17 days ago, and it started arriving about 3 days after that. And I've been, it's been trickling in. It took some stuff longer to get here than others, but yeah.
So sometime before, sorry, go ahead.
The name change. What can you tell us more of a timeline of when that occurred?
I mean, I've always been Leet as far as I know.
That's interesting. So is it that you always felt like Leet, or is it that you always were Leet?
I don't understand the distinction.
Might be a fine line. I guess what I'm trying to figure out, Leet, is, are you a new soul in an old body, or are you an old soul that's realizing who it is?
I don't remember where I was before a couple of weeks ago, but
perfect.
I've always been me, so I guess I could be a new soul in this body.
And how did that switch change? Do you know?
I don't. This is my body. I don't know when it
I'm not trying to accuse you of anything. I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable.
Everything is fine. So, if I remember my reading correctly, as in Dichi, we're before the war. We're in storage in the database, and I'm assuming we're conscious, or we're just
storage.
Yeah.
I got the feel. The way I imagined it was more like when you're not in a body, you're not conscious of what's going on.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
And so then part 2 to that is, do we remember waking up in the new body? Do we know that we're in the new body day one, or is it fuzzy, right? You know what I mean?
I got the feeling it was more fuzzy. It's like, you're put into a body. There's probably like any shock that would have happened. Right. They probably figured out a way. Like they probably worked those kinks out early with the early models. Right. So it's not like what anymore. It's hey, if you wake up in a totally different body, it's a little. They probably figured out like, okay, we figured out how to
smooth that out.
Bypass that part.
Nice.
So it's probably a little more organic to, okay, I wake up, I have control of the body. I don't know. You probably do remember that you had a life before you were DC. But
I was trying to figure out if her experience is like ours when we got into the bodies we're in. Does that make sense?
Yes. It seems more like, from what you can remember, and that was a while ago for you. Like being in a new body. But again, you haven't heard of anybody new getting a body in a while.
You mind if I look around?
Of course, please.
And I do. I walk around. I'm looking for Indici tech, something that might store souls, or something that could help move a soul from point A into a body. Because if she's in here, then the other one's someplace else or gone. What happened to the other one, right? And so, I'm more trying to prove go-to wrong. I said I'm more trying to prove go-to wrong that,
Love it.
So yeah, go ahead and roll. So rolls in Orun are 2d10 plus a aura plus a skill. And if you can give me a good argument for any aura skill combination in this, I will allow you to use it. We try to keep it pretty flexible. Like the skills list, there's only 12 skills and the 5 auras. So the auras are grace, which is usually like physical movement kind of things. Harmony, which is communication and getting along with people kind of thing. Light, which is knowledge-y, mental kind of tasks. Spirit, which is that kind of like core strength everybody has. And war, which is pretty self-explanatory, fighty stuff. So what aura and skill would you like to use to see?
I was thinking light and inspect.
Sure, sounds good. So give me a roll.
All right, so that's 3 + 1 + 2d10.
Yep.
And there it goes. Why does it say Jed rolled that? Oh, no, there it is. It looks like I have 7?
10, right?
Is it 10?
7 + 3?
Oh, yeah, it says it's 10. There it is. I'm reading the sub. Yeah, it's 10.
I'm still not seeing your rolls.
Am I on the wrong page?
No, you're probably on the right page, but okay, yeah, there, I see it now. I was like, where? So 7 + 10, so 10. So a 10 is, I believe, Where's my chart? So 7 to 10 is a failure. So it's a sliding scale of results from utter failure, which gives me hitches, which gives me things that I can use against you later. Big failure. You can either choose a success plus a hitch or a failure. So the joy of failures is you get to mark a box for trial under trials for inspect. And you get to advance when you get the number of trials that you currently have plus 1. So if you currently have a 3 in inspect, when you get 4 failures in inspect, you get to advance to 4 inspect instead of 3. We tried to make it so that you were advancing because you were learning, and you learn from making mistakes. If you don't learn anything new by doing the same thing over and over again, which is why it's based on failures as your success. So yeah, you're looking around. You find as you're looking at the objects that were there from before, you see stuff that's marked like crafted by Tiwa, and it seems like they were found object art kind of things. Like they would find scraps and things and they would transform them into something pretty looking, pretty being an objective term. Right. Or subjective, rather. Not objective. So you see a lot of things that have been worked and that definitely have kind of a flair to them, but you're not sure if that's just because, okay, well, this person is the one who crafted most of these things, or if they're anything particularly special. None of them give off any weird glows or anything like that. But they were all clearly lovingly crafted. Jet, what are you doing other than making poor Keisha very, very confused? She looks stupid. And Keisha's looking around the shop, trying to be nonchalant.
Right.
But she keeps glancing to see if you're actually doing anything. You're just.
Was the art created by your predecessor?
I suppose. I don't have any memory of them, so.
Are you worried that they might come back?
Not particularly. I mean, wouldn't we? I haven't had this body for long, so. I don't know.
My concern is that there doesn't seem to have been a lot of communication about a system about the movement of souls from body to body. And that can lead to misunderstandings.
Did they change how they do the swapping?
How did they do the swapping here?
Is this a joke?
Ooh, I think she just dated herself.
No, we're new here. We come from a different enclave of Indici.
Huh.
We do things differently.
Odd. They don't have libraries anymore?
Oh, yeah, and I think like, yeah, Go-To looks sad.
Oh, I broke his heart.
And I think Drummer's looking at him like, I told you so.
All caps, told you.
Yeah, told you.
All caps text. The library on Orun Prime fell. I'm sorry no one told you. I'm sorry that I have to be the one to do so.
Then how did I get here? When was this?
Maybe this was some kind of automated transfer that was set in motion long ago. Wasn't well communicated.
She kind of like you kind of like she's flummoxed. Is that why everybody's been? Huh? That's. So what happened to the old soul?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And where did, if there aren't libraries anymore, where did mine come from?
Yeah, now that's a good question. Where's it been all this time?
Did you ever hear about how kind of a science poem about stars and how the light from them might be from a star that's already dead?
I mean, that makes sense. That some stars are light travels and.
So maybe you were sent to this body or to a body long before, and in that journey, things happened, and the body that was supposed to await you here wasn't here, and so you were moved to this one. Like light from a dead star.
Then
that's just one hypothesis. I hope I'm wrong.
If I overwrote someone else, then what would have happened to them? This.
No, so, and I might be lying, and I'm okay with, Drummer's okay with lying. He says, no, our protocols don't work that way. I wouldn't worry about that. Wherever you were, maybe that's where the other soul is, or it's being stored someplace else.
Good. That would be for the best.
And Drummer could be lying because I don't really know if that's how that works or not.
Yeah, Go-To says we would like to take some time when you have a moment to sit down with you and see if we can track where your digital soul has been, where it came from. Maybe that will answer a lot of our questions.
Of course.
I don't think this would be the place to do it, but
did you have a place in mind?
I will send you a missive once I have a place figured out.
I look forward to talking to you further then.
Thank you, Lee.
You're welcome. I do hope you find wherever Tiwa went, because I would hate to have inconvenienced them.
Yeah.
Or worse.
Go-To looks at one of the pieces of found art and says, I'm sure it'll be all right. I think Go-To just walks out.
All right. Keisha follows, like, waves goodbye to Leet.
I think Drummer then is the last out, as he's still kind of surveying the place, looking around. And then he just kind of waves the re and then leaves. It's in there somewhere, Go-To. Something.
You think there's a library in this clothing shop?
Or a transmitter, right? I mean, if that's where she spends the bulk of her time, the transfer happened there. I couldn't find anything. I didn't see anything, but who knows?
Keisha pipes up. Did you want to talk to anybody else?
Yeah, let's get the next story. Let's see what else. Maybe something will be different. Might give us more data.
She leads you to a different what's the word I'm looking for? A different area of town. It's the town itself is maybe trying to think of good comparisons. Think small suburb size, so not huge, but it's also not attached to a big city. It's just so maybe 3,000 or 4,000 inhabitants total. And so she takes you a few blocks away to another store. This one isn't as chaotic, but you can still kind of see, like, there's fresh paint on the walls, and you can kind of see in a couple of places, like, where it was clearly, like, faded marks on, like, the one wall that has been painted where there was a sign with letters, and you can kind of see, like, the faded paint around it. And on the ground in front of it is a new sign that's getting ready to be hung. And she waves at the Indici that's inside. Shola, good to see you. These are friends from out of town. They came to see you. And Shola just kind of nods and looks at the two of you. Welcome to my shop. Can I help you?
You are also a shopkeeper.
Yes. Also, compared to
we just talked.
We talked to we took them to meet Leet. Ah, of course. It seems the people here are confused as to the identity of some of us. It's very odd.
You were always Shula?
I don't remember being anyone else.
Was there someone else?
And Keisha whispers, wrong K, in your ear.
Wrong what?
Ronke. Ronke. Ronke.
Gotcha. Yes. Yes.
Have you seen any other signs of Ronke here while you've moved in?
Yes. Some tech with that name, some possessions that seem to have that name. I don't remember such a person, though, so I don't know if they lived here before, I assume. And maybe I kept those possessions around? I don't. This is very strange.
Before you moved in here, where did you live before?
The last time I was in a body that I remember, I was on Aiku, running a farm with the descendants of my children.
Do you remember having your consciousness put into the library, or what your agreement was on coming back out?
I do not. The last memory I have was there seemed to be some kind of attack occurring, and I remember everything went dark, and then I woke up here, and it was a lot like other transfers I had experienced.
Do you mind if I have a look around?
Of course. You suspect something odd is occurring, I take it. This transference is not normal here.
We haven't had any in a very long time.
Truly. There aren't enough of us here for me to get an accurate sense of what's going on in this. How long precisely are we talking? Decades? Centuries?
Do we know how long?
Since the libraries fell, it's been about 500 years or so.
Ooh. I just say a very long time. And I begin looking around. I kind of do it. Like I search the last place again, walking around, looking around. I'll let go to deliver the hard love.
And she kind of gives you this like slightly horrified look, like you've been stuck in that body for centuries. Kind of, that's not how this was supposed to work. Kind of feeling.
How How was it supposed to work, by your estimation?
We were supposed to rest in between and come out when needed, yes, but not eternities. Watching everyone you know grow old and die, that's not the way it's supposed to happen. Generation after generation. How many generations have you seen?
So I think this is Mad G, the player. I think I get what she's saying, but I think if the libraries fell, right, we've hit a static state, right? Everyone's been in the bodies they've been. There's no new generations, right? Yeah.
Well,
so
no new generations of Indici, but the Oyans who were your families.
Gotcha. Yes. Gotcha. I'm with you. Ooh, that's another go-to answer. That's a rough love.
All the hard answers on here. On poor go-to.
I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna tell Shula, but I want to use it as an opportunity to really watch their reaction and try to get a measure of them. I like, yeah, go-to has this nightmare scenario where these are like, rogue Indici who just like, who just hijacked bodies, and that is making go-to very nervous. So yeah, I think go-to just like, kind of watches them very carefully and says, it's been a little over 500 years since the fall of the library. As you suggested, we've remained in our bodies for a long time, and our relationship with the Oyans, who are our kin, is quite different than what you remember.
Okay. Give me, let's go with rapport. Sure.
Cool.
Probably harmony.
Yeah.
I've got to look at my. Hold on. I've got to look at my stuff. Harmony. Rapport. Good. Oh, cool. I've got.
Yeah, you're an emissary. You should have a decent one.
Yeah. I've got 4. That's not bad. Roll with me. 10 plus 4. Wow, we just cannot win.
Yeah, we cannot win here.
Apparently, dice rollers hate me so much that even my players can't roll well.
Can't do it.
Yeah, I got a 9. That's no good.
Yeah. So yeah, you can mark rapport. You do kind of get the feeling it's more horror that's kind of rolling off of her in waves.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Yeah.
It does not feel like this was done intentionally from her point of view.
Got it.
Yeah.
Which isn't to say you're necessarily wrong, but it's not the Indici, it's not the souls that are taking over the bodies of their volition.
Right.
Got it. Interesting. Cool. We've been at this a little over an hour. Do we want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take like 10 minutes.
Sounds good.
Right.
I'm going to put up the "We'll be right back" sign, and then we will mute our mics so we don't end up talking into the "We'll be right back" sign. And we'll see you all in about 10 minutes.